Hello everyone and welcome to this video. Today we'll be discussing the cultural traits of societies from a managerial perspective. In this section, we target two major cultural aspects which are collectivism and individualism. We all know that individualism values the individual, while collectivism focuses on the group. Individualism can be perceived in countries such as Germany or the United States, whereas collectivism is prominent in countries such as Japan, China, or Morocco. In fact, both ideologies have an impact on leadership, organizational management, and team performance. Let's review together which are the key traits of the two cultures in the context of business organizations. In a collectivist workplace culture, decisions are made through collaboration and group consensus, and members are expected to sacrifice things and contribute to their group. An individualistic culture in the workplace promotes creativity and innovation, boosts employee engagement, and motivates people to do their best. Employees are proud of their accomplishments and strive to achieve peak performance, knowing that their efforts will be appreciated. Despite their obvious advantages, none of these approaches is perfect. The reason why, in practice, organizations are neither entirely one or the other. Instead, representations of individualism and collectivism are present in some capacity in every company and every leader.
So now we're going to talk about languages, which are very important in every culture. As you all know, businesses are expanding at a rapid pace, evolving in the business landscape and breaking into international markets. This foreign expansion creates a requirement for multilingualism to ensure an accurate and flawless client and employee communication. Being able to interact with your customers abroad or employees from different cultures is imperative. It doesn't matter how good your product or service or your company is, if you cannot effectively communicate with your clients or if your employees do not understand each other. Speaking to them in their language breaks up the cultural differences, builds trust, and shows respect. Indeed, speaking more than one language can improve a person's jobs prospects, potentially opening up opportunities for all in global business. The multilingual business personnel is much in demand nowadays with the shift of global economic power. While the US is still holding its prime position, Japan and China are also rising rapidly in the economic scenario in general. Japan's automobile industry is taking on the big three in the US markets. China has become also the largest electronic manufacturing country. Indeed, Mandarin has also become significant for business leaders to know and understand because of the growing economy and purchasing power of China in the global market. To sum up, the language flows across and touches the global organizational processes such as hiring, evaluating, promoting employees, and teaming, and many more. The language alteration affects these processes and practices simultaneously. It can affect every aspect of globalization because only by learning languages, leaders can communicate effectively with native people and cultures, which will further help them to move towards the future world and global business.
This video aims to highlight the role played by the tourism sector in Morocco in the process of economic development. The tourism has qualities that abound in Morocco, like its cultural heritage and its geographical location, which helped in the first place to promote the Moroccan tourism product and make it one of the development resources on which to contribute to the economic growth. It's also one of the largest sources of hard currency in the country. Cultural tourism is one of the pillars of tourism market in the kingdom, and a mainstay of investment in tangible and intangible cultural heritage in its civilizational, cultural, economic, and social dimensions. As 80% of the total number of foreign tourists visit our country with cultural motifs, while only 20% are brought by Moroccan beaches. This means that the content of the Moroccan tourist offer is cultural on first level, This is due to the cultural diversity among the regions of the kingdom at the level of food, dress, history, and tradition. Morocco is considered a major heritage force with its 32 historical urban centers, its diverse architectural heritage consisting of mud architecture, the Andalusian style in construction and architecture, its modern cities with an unique style called Art Deco built during the colonial period, its archaeological sites extending from prehistoric to the Islamic period, its scenic sites, its intangible heritage characterized by its uniqueness and traditions, which is represented by its culinary heritage and the skills of its traditional craftsmen and the manifestation of the ways and arts of living such as dress and celebration, knowledge, rituals, and practices. The latest statistics before the outbreak of the corona pandemic indicate that the sector grew at an average of 6% in year. But after corona and closing the borders, the tourism sector in Morocco has incurred more than $1 billion in losses, in light of the decline in its revenues by more than 30% during the first half of 2020.
There is a huge Western impact on the state since France colonized Morocco not only on companies, although the impact of Western companies is already established in the country within several sectors, but mostly within industry and the economy. Westernization has impacted economics greatly. Traditional forms of production and distribution of goods and services had drastically changed Western to fit Western designs. As we can see, more women are involved in many sectors of economy and industry nowadays, as well as night shifts that become normal, unlike in the previous ages in the country. Over time, the Western ideas and strategies become adopted by Moroccan companies. So people are out of ideas and creativity. Not only that, but most dangerously, they no longer encourage local companies, even if there are genuine idea. In brief, culture is what makes an individual unique in getting to know other cultures, including languages. Marketing does change the way of thinking. The thing is that we must not let other cultures impact our way of living or thinking unless they are useful and not affecting our living environment.